All right, hello and welcome everyone to the 42 World Cup semi-finals losers bracket match between South Korea and China. I'm Nev, joined by Floflorian. How are you doing, Flo?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's so exciting to see both of these teams. China, who has always been kind of a really strong contender in these four WC tournaments, and South Korea, who has had so dominating run throughout World Cups recently. And despite having a roster that might not be the strongest one on paper, is still doing such a great job. Very unlucky here in the loser bracket.
Yeah, China, who got dropped into the losers bracket quite early on. I think they lost to Sweden on tiebreaker, if I remember correctly. And then South Korea, who've been in quarterfinals, dropped to the losers bracket. But we've at least seen both of these teams playing this pool before, and they've had some same maps that they played in previous matches.
Yeah, they have had some scores that we can compare. Generally, South Korea kind of came out of on top, except one map, I believe, which was the Hard Rock one. China, known as a very strong Hard Rock team. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a challenge here for the Chinese teams. We've seen them be very consistent throughout all maps here, from what I can see, and all of their players have been performing well. We've seen, of course, the two Lolos, who have always had a really good job here, especially Lolo 235 and C numbers as well. Both of these players were C7 and C10 respectively. But on the other side, you have South Korea with like 4 players ranking in like the top 35 seeds here. Especially standard player is gonna be Nope KGK with C2, and Gambler, who has had such a dominating performance here on these reading maps and the free mods. But they have banned pretty fast.
Yeah, I was about to say, this pick ban phase went by so fast that we weren't even able to finish the intros properly. Yeah, South Korea banning Nomad 5 DT2 like they did in their last match. China banning out Hidden 2 and Fremont 2, those gimmicky maps, which they probably don't even want to try against South Korea. And they already China picking DT1, playing those DT maps that they're really good on.
Yeah, I think it's to be expected. China has always been quite a force here in these DT picks and these speed picks and stamina picks overall, and South Korea just doesn't want to get like messed up with them on this type of skill set. But we see that the Nomad 6 is not being banned. Generally, our prediction was beforehand that the Hidden 2 and Nomad 6 is going to be banned by the side of China, and they have opted here with the Fremont 2. South Korea gonna be using Gambler here as a hidden weapon. I feel like we're gonna see a lot of hidden here. We're gonna see a lot of Fremont here, especially the Fremont 3 is certainly going to be picked here by the side of South Korea. But for now, we're gonna see the DT1 here from China.
Yeah, gonna be waiting and excited to see what Gambler pulls out again on that Fremont 3, maybe the easy, but yeah, the DT1, My Chemical Romance, Na Na Na, a very stock standard DT1 for these kinds of tournaments. A lot of aim, some slightly longer bursts, but it's not anything crazy. It's not necessarily speed still.
Yeah, it has these bursts. They are kind of quick checking you at times, but still mainly here on that aim. This is generally like in the low star rating. You could pull this as a DT2 in some 5-digit tournaments, but here just at this difficulty, a very good fitting spot here for that DT1. See some early misses here from C numbers, and now South Korea 2 misses, one more. They will on that recover, like on that reverse choke here. Remind, well, no FC anymore, so that's 3 FCs on the side of China, almost 3 FCs, and no FCs on the side of South Korea. Quite a dominating fashion here on the beginning already from China.
Yeah, South Korea dropping all of their full combos already. Still, China do have both the Lolos with the full combos and Z with, well, there goes Z's recovery, but still the 2 full combos, keeping this very well on the side of China.
Yeah, and something to note is that the times here for both teams should be quite fine as well. It is 10 p.m. for South Korea. That's pretty good time usually for them. Both of these teams, of course, are very similar time zones. So no sleep talking here. And yeah, recovery here now from the South Korean side, but it does not matter as long as China can keep holding these 2 FCs they have left.
Yeah, there are some recoveries for South Korea, but oh well, there goes, that's David, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Very possibly.
we still all 2, 3, 4. I always forget which one's which.
Yeah, but the score at this point isn't changing that much, but not much of the map is left either. And with Luzhou missing here once again, it's not really helping them. Lolo 2, 3, 4 would have needed here to miss a lot earlier to make a difference here. Fortunately for China, they did not, and yeah, China taking the first point on the first pick by almost 500,000 points. Very good start here, very good statement here. 3 million score on the first map.
Yeah, statement first pick. Really nice score for the Chinese side. Over the South Korea, there are those gimmicky options still left. Nomad 6, Fremod 3. We'll see if they want to start off with one of those, perhaps.
Certainly, Nomad 6, of course, best thing in this pool. Best thing I've ever seen in the pool.
100%.
But I don't think that South Korea is gonna go for Nomad 6 here beginning. I think this could be a pick here for the later stages, but if I was South Korea, I would certainly go for like some of the safer picks here towards the beginning. For example, like the Fremod. I think both Fremods are very safe picks for them, especially the Fremod 3 with this carry potential here from Gambler. Gambler just doing such a good job in reading maps, and I think Gambler alone here has managed to start like a conversation in the map for feedback that went thousands of messages. So, yeah, just doing incredible stuff. But of course, the rest of the team just doing kind of an insurmountable wall here for most teams in this tournament. So, Nomad 3 also would be quite a possible pick here for South Korea. They've done so strong. They showed so strong power here on that as well.
Yeah, it's not like South Korea can only pick into those more gimmicky maps. They still got some really good alt players, also really good hidden players on the team as well.
Yeah, I think they're super well versed. They have had some outstanding hardware performances here versus the Chinese side, but China just generally a team you don't want to pick hardware into. And it's gonna be the hidden tree. It is exactly as you said, Nev. These hidden picks are just so good for South Korea all across the board. And yeah.
That's why I believe China banned Hidden 3 in their previous match as well.
Oh yeah, that is certainly some insight here for the South Korean team. And I would be expecting that this pick has been influenced by this previous ban. Research is king, especially in tournaments like this. And now that both of these teams have already played a match before, they have some data on each other, they have seen how well they perform individually. And they have seen their own stat sheets, of course. It is gonna be a lot more interesting with the picks, and I think a lot more predictable as well.
There's now one key player for the South Korean side on these hidden maps, Nope KJK.
Not only hidden maps, it seems like no KJJ kind of FCing everything they touch. Also, a bit of a shout out here for KRCY, who has been playing so well on the picks they needed to perform on. Doesn't necessarily always show here in the stats, but just such a good job here.
Oh yeah, they can definitely step it up when their turn comes to...
Yes, absolutely. B-Wall jumping in, so kind of the super roster here for South Korea. Gambler will be coming in. There will be 4 of the top 35 players of the last week's performance charge here in one team, and that's kind of brutal. That's something you wouldn't expect from a county tournament, really.
Yeah, China are asking for a timeout, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the players might just be preparing here for this. Maybe they have some surprise here. Maybe that ban yesterday was just for another reason. It was a little bit bait here. But, yeah. A timeout is quite telling very early for a timeout. We've seen it presently quite a few times in this tournament already.
Yeah, this time it's actually been called by the team. For some reason, I've seen multiple or a couple of times already a timeout be forced because they just didn't have players in the lobby.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've seen that before, but not that many times.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple of times already here.
The players on the side of South Korea are told it seems like it's not gonna be Bandler, it's gonna be Choco, who is also quite a force to be reckoned with. Kind of a hidden specialist here for the South Korean team as well. Gambler might not have the mechanics that Choco will hop in and cover that up.
Seems like they are changing. They're putting in Choco for... Maybe they just weren't present for their previous match because MX 10,000 played this for South Korea in their previous match.
That is quite telling. What was MX 10,000 score?
Yeah, they have 245k, so maybe South Korea can do even better this time, perhaps.
Yeah, MX 10,000
crazy.
kind of struggles here, yes. And looking like at the matchups, Choco was last time here, so let's see how this one will go. It's a big question mark right now for the fourth player of South Korea, but still very much favored for them here.
They got 1.9 million team score on this previously. See if they can improve that, or if China gonna surprise, even though they banned this last time.
Yes, the map is extremely difficult. It is these very dense mechanics, these BPM changes that happen all the time, and there's some sliders into triples that are just super difficult. And towards the end, it's a single circle soon to these triples, but.
This kind of flow out with hidden, very difficult to hold combo consistently, and this map also has some tricky wiggle flow like flowing wiggle patterns, like you can see.
Yeah, you can see already a lot of players falling apart. Each side only having one carry here. Main carry for South Korea is still on a 99.7%, looking real strong on this map. But Lolo 234. Certainly a force to be reckoned with, maybe not that high accuracy, but consistency is usually on their side super strongly. Still
Combo's
advantage
still
currently for... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, Combo's still keeping this somewhat equal. Nope, KJK, that one key player for South Korea, the difference maker currently.
Yeah, certainly, but also the difference maker for the Chinese side. Holding up strong, that is what is important. Still, everything open. 60,000 score left here, but that miss here from the Chinese side is gonna widen that gap, but Bevo immediately trading it back. 100,000 points for advantage here for the South Korean side.
So long as Kurumi can keep holding on to this full combo of his, there's still maybe some chance, but no, more drops for the China side.
Yeah,
meanwhile, South Korea, crazy recovery still.
That chain miss here from XC1 kinda not good for them. 140,000 points. B-Wall keeps breaking on the side of South Korea. Crazy also kind of falling here, but as long as no KGK here keeps holding with this amazing performance here, and Choco with this big recovery combo, it should be almost guaranteed. But the score is so close together, 140,000. That is almost nothing.
That score lead should slowly here start to climb more, as we have Choco on a really nice recovery as well. And there goes Kurumi's combo. Yeah, this was going to South Korea.
Yes, South Korea holding strong here. If Kurumi had held up stronger and any of these, and no KGK, for example, had broken on the side of South Korea, they could have immediately stolen this away. 140,000 is just not much on the 4v4 size team. And fortunately for the South Korean team here on their own pick, they have kind of pulled through here.
We're looking at this one player, top left of your screen, still going off.
Yeah, doing such a great job hitting everything. These slow bars, these changing BPMs, just so difficult to keep holding it through. Even the accuracy of no KJK kind of showing that at this point. Usually such a consistent player staying in at 99%, now at 96%, just showing just how difficult it is to hold this act here.
Nice full combo. Did drop the accuracy a little bit, but this is a really tricky map. And nope, KJK with a full combo, and they improved their team score by 300,000. A nice opener for both teams.
Yes, both teams very strong scores here. Choco outperforming MX 10,000 here by a significant amount, which helped the team by massively, really. Overall, the team effort just really strong. I was just about to say, hey, maybe it's a bit dangerous having needing NopeKJK to step up here in FC everything. But even if NopeKJK had just had the same score as the top scorer on the Chinese side, they would have still won. So still very good team effort here from their side.
Yeah, China wasting no time. Back to the DTs. This time the DT3.
Yeah, they really want this to happen. They want this higher BPM. Anything that is DT, anything that is more mechanics is gonna be the Chinese pick here. I would expect more hardworks from them in the future as well. They have hardwork was the only skill set they really outperformed here in comparison to these matches of South Korea.
Yeah, once these DT picks run out, it's probably going to be that hard rock for China. But this DT3, South Korea actually did play this in the previous match, and they only got one FC, and that was a 90% AC FC by Baywall.
What a statement, honestly. 90% FCs are just so nice to see. But yeah, China certainly has seen the score. They know they can do better, but it's in the match. You gotta do this in the match. So I don't think South Korea is out of it, and they can certainly steal this away. The further we go into this map, the more maps are being picked, the less one-sided these maps I feel like are going to get.
Yeah, this one being a really short map as well. We did see in Germany versus Indonesia how, well, I mean, we casters thought Germany was 100% going to win it, but Indonesia combo gaming did end up breakpointing that.
Yes. Nothing in terms of map itself really noteworthy to call out. It's just tech speed. Very niche skill set. Not often seen in tournament, it feels like. Especially in the way this map is being mapped. So, super fun to watch as well.
And the moment this map gets going, it doesn't stop.
Really, yeah.
A very short break in the middle, but it's just a lot of tapping all the way through.
Yes, Nelf really never letting it go, and teams are ready, seeing the good luck. Fun's running out, just about to get into the map. And I dare to say this might get a little bit closer than the DT1, but I might also just be very wrong here, depending on the performance here of China.
Well, China's still picking this as their second map. And they have the information of how South Korea can do on this map, so maybe some confidence there in this pick.
Oh, certainly, you don't want to pick into South Korea a map like this if you don't have the confidence.
Also, China, arguably the best speed team in the tournament.
Yeah, possibly, but what I've seen yesterday from Russia, I'm not even sure about that anymore with their insane performance. First break here on the Chinese side, though. South Korea not answering this break here.
South Korea holding onto those combos really strongly, actually, here early on. Combo very key for this very short map. IMAX 10,000 does drop his combo.
Yeah, but with the recovery combo here from the Chinese side, never mind, Dragon also falling on the side of China. Gaolula and Luzhou, kind of the entirety of SK instead of, except Baywall kind of falling here. China now keeping the score towards their side and really equipped with these two FCs and this big recovery combo.
Yeah, this map is so tricky to act. You can just look at the majority of these players we're like sitting at around 90% AC.
Yeah, only one
Kurumi with the combo.
Left. If Kurumi falls, there still could be stolen here by the South Korean side, but it has to fall very soon. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. 300,000 points advantage here for the Chinese side. Map almost over. Still a little bit of combo here, but Kurumi falls. Is there enough time? I don't think so, but I might still be wrong with more breaks here from Dragon.
I don't think there is.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there was enough density left here for South Korea to steal us back, but this did get a little bit dicier and only 130,000 points. On scores like this, with these 700Ks here on the side of China, with this 890K on the side of Baywall. Zero miss, by the way, on 2 players on the South Korean side. Yeah, did get a bit dicey.
Not the most convincing of results, but China still holding on to their own picks, not giving away this one yet. So no break points conceded yet. Back over to South Korea's pick. The hidden 3 really worked out. I'm not exactly sure if they're looking at that hidden 1, as China did have the better team score in the previous match.
Yeah, hidden 1 might not be the pick here. I would expect a 3 mod right now. Possibly even a Nomad 3. Maps like the Nomad 2 or Nomad 1 I think are too pointlessly. I think Nomad 2 is so out of the ordinary this week. It's hard to predict other teams on it. And you generally only want to pick it if you just want to, have a coin flip or are super confident yourself on this map. But I think Nomad 6 or 3 mod 3 are going to be the next picks.
Yeah, either one of those 2 or Nomad 3, probably the most likely ones for South Korea here. Of course, that free mod 3, once again, very excited to see Gambler come in with that easy, see what he can do this time. He got a really good score in the previous match, like 360k on easy.
And it's gonna be the Nomad 6. Best song, best map in the world.
Oh.
I've never seen a background that fits so well with a song.
Yeah, truly one of the maps of all time to be pulled as a Nomad 6, and like this one being a very actually like a very tricky precision map.
Yes, the map is OD7, yet a lot of people just struggling still to act this map consistently. I like the main thing I wonder about is how do you find a map like this? And the idea to pull this, how do you get this idea? It's just such a genius move, honestly. Very emotional map.
Probably looking at similar maps to Agony, but then they couldn't exactly pull Agony, so they went with Nocturne in E flat major instead.
Absolutely. Yeah, players taking their time once again here. 90-second timers. So it's gonna be the super squad here for the Chinese side. 970, low lols, both low lols see numbers here. 3 of their main carries with 970 as a support. On the side of South Korea, no KJK, crazy. Choco and MX 10,000.
Yeah, South Korea swapping players again from their previous run. They had Baywall in last time, this time MX 10,000 stepping up.
Yeah, but these wildcards can shake up things, so certainly was to be reckoned with, and we've seen them shake up things before, so could be changing the scores here, proving them even more than they already had them.
And make sure to turn your music up. This song goes very hard with the background.
I'm going crazy already.
Very emotional.
Extremely emotional. No early breaks here, no slip-ups on this circle size 7.5. Not a circle size you usually see in the Nomads. The players doing currently a really good job. Accuracy seems to be slightly favored towards the Chinese side here.
Everyone's
just
still
as I stated.
Oh, there goes a couple combos for China.
Yes, these quick bursts here. There's some bus sliders that are very dangerous on this map. These breaks are kind of painful. Or always moving very slowly. Yesterday we had seen a team fall apart on this map, and the score just went so slowly to the other side just because of the density. It was the most anticlimactic deal I've ever seen in a tournament.
Yeah,
But,
maps like this very scary all the way through. There's not a whole lot of max combo to get. And with the CS 7.5, if you get nervous, well, it's just GG.
yes, any shake just can't screw you up so much. Even Bancho just does not want to keep going here. Kind of struggling here.
Come on, Bancho. I'm tearing up here.
That's another break here from the Chinese side. No answers from South Korea. South Korea looking so strong in this type of map. See numbers and Lolo 2, 3, 4, 5 trying to keep it alive. Nope, KGK finally the first person on the South Korean side to fall. But Chinese needs more break here on the side of South Korea.
Score lead kind of stuck on that 100k, actually slowly going towards China.
Yeah, these recovery combos here from the Chinese side just helping out massively. Also a lot of this accuracy here that SK just kind of dropped here. 64, but 2 more breaks here on the Chinese side. That it's going to be tremendously useful here for the South Korean.
They are still holding on to 3 full combos for the side of South Korea.
Bus slider, well, only 1 FC here and no combos left here for the Chinese side. Bus slider was devastating.
There goes crazy.
So
Z number is the only one with a full combo for China versus MX-10000 and Choco.
Still a bit to go. Still not lost, but not in a good spot here. MX-10000 are finally falling.
That?
Only Choco left. Is there still a chance here for the Chinese side? Can Z number steal this away? It really might still be possible. Oh, crazy was a Bancho.
Oh,
it's not possible anymore. I take it back.
Yeah, that just might be it. Bancho tearing up so much, we thought crazy missed.
The numbers trying their best here with this 93% FC seemingly, but what can you do against 2 FCs on the side of South Korea like this?
Has anybody got a full combo? Z number is not going to be one. Crazy and Choco's so close.
Still a very strong score here from the Chinese side. It's not to be underestimated. South Korea just too strong on the map like this. And this ladder is a funny one. 1 million score advantage here for the South Korean side going towards the end. The score really like building up here.
Really nice showing for South Korea. An emotional pick.
Very emotional and very emotional score advantage here as well. 1.1 million is certainly not something you generally expect in later matches like this at super teams that are so good. China seed 10, South Korea seed 5, and you just gap out another team like this. That's quite a statement, and I think it's important confidence boost here for the South Korean side.
As for China, what is up next? Is it
D4.
just gonna DT4? Probably.
Although DT4 is very different. It's not a high BPM. I take it actually back. It's probably gonna be a hard rock. Yeah.
Hard rock to continue with precision.
DT4, of course, being 177 BPM DT old. So I might be crazy, but I think DT old is gonna be favored here for the South Koreans.
I think DT4 is one of the more contested picks between these two teams. Could be.
Absolutely. Alt maps are usually very contested. And, a map like this is quite common in recent times in tournaments as DT3s and DT4s. I think this is being pulled very often recently, very in the meta right now. All of these players probably have some experience in here, but it is going to be the Hard Rock 2. We have some comparison scores, not probably. I think only one of these teams played this map previously, which was probably China. Yes, China, 2.8 million score on the previous match.
Yeah, thanks to that FC from Kurumi. Probably looking at them to show up again.
Yes, absolutely. Seeing like precision maps at this starting at this level, at this consistency necessary, like 4 minutes long CS 6.5 Air 10 OD10 and just FCing the map is so strong, so impressive.
4 minutes of precision, that's a real mental battle.
It really is. You start shaking, you start getting nervous. Well, kind of falling apart right now. I don't think 2.8 million is everything China can do, and South Korea kind of have to be a bit worried about that. A relaxing song once again. I love songs like this. And South Korea opting for their timeout right now, maybe also trying to get some practice on this map, except Nope KGK. I don't think Nope KGK likes practicing directly for maps.
Yeah, maybe just the rest of the team practicing the map, seeing who's performing on the day. Maybe some people who have a good score on the team sheet just not feeling the best today.
Possibly. It's important to kind of get used to the circle size. I think it's a very good call here from them if they have done so, if they have done this practice. Just hit a few circles here at the beginning so you don't like get caught here. Even if you know it's coming, this low circle size, if you have at least tapped a few of them before, you should be going more consistent at the very least in the beginning of this map.
We do have players slowly showing up in the lobby as the timer should be running out. Like Garalulu gonna be making their first appearance in this match for South Korea.
Garalulu, of course, a very strong hard rock player. Of KJK, the main character who's playing everything, gonna be here. B-Wall also super strong on hard rock, and Crazy being one of the main carries, of course. I think that's a very strong roster, and China needs to have the hard rock pants on, because that South Korea is what kind of seems scary.
Oh yeah, after that Nomad 6, I mean, the maps are not exactly the same. Still precision though, and South Korea did end up taking that, so maybe an opportunity here for a breakpoint as well.
Absolutely, and I think China knows that. But they're kind of locked, they're kind of forced to go into these harder picks right now. No early slip-ups here. That is important here. Any break, despite map being of course longer and it not meaning that much, could be a deciding factor in teams that are so good, that are so strong. 100,000 less score. It's a team that could potentially put scores in the 3 millions. Can hurt you a lot here. Everybody looking pretty good. First break here on the side of South Korea. Garalulu falling here unexpectedly at a rather easier start.
Still an early break. 4 minutes of the map. You definitely still have time to recover. Gonna be giving a slight early lead for China.
Garalulu breaking once again. Not feeling it today. It seems like rest of the side of South Korea still looking very strong, very good accuracy across the board. But China with 3x over 99%, just leading the chase here. 80,000 points advantage already. Steadily,
really strong
coming.
scores already, like from 7 players. It's only been Garalulu to miss so far.
So far, but certainly not going to be the only one. And the next person to break is gonna be Nope KGK. You know what they call it? Break? They break right after. Shown by Nope KGK.
And that score lead climbing even more for China. Almost at 200,000 already. On Z numbers, breaking on one of those sliders.
Yeah, slowing down the advance here. slowing down the advance, but still 3 FCs on the side of China versus 2 FCs from South Korea. Still very much favored to them. The score is still growing. South Koreans are recovering right now though. No KGK in 200 combo. Garaduli here on that 400 combo. Finally managed to get everything together, reaching the 99% as well. Certainly not lost here.
It's not like China is safe yet. You still have Crazy and Baywall on FCs and everyone else on recoveries. But if you keep seeing drops like David, suddenly it's gonna start equalizing even more here.
Combo advantage here now for South Korea, so they have the chance to slowly pull this towards their side, make this a lot more close, but Crazy falling here, and that is a big one. Baywall right after that. There's no FCs left on the side of South Korea, and the score really shows that flying towards the Chinese side, not much of the left, and China seems to be running away with this.
Oh man, it's just Nope, KJK and Garalulu on the recoveries, being matched by a recovery from Z numbers, but 970 and Kurumi still on full combos. Not much you can do against those.
Yeah, very unfortunate here for the South Korean side. China looking here to improve their score from yesterday as well. Wow, that's one of the Lolo's gone here. 970 still holding strong though. 100,000 score off this score from yesterday, and it seems like they will be beating it.
Yeah, already surpassed their previous score. Last time it was Kurumi to full combo. Is it 970 this time?
Such a good job from the team here. Unfortunately falling here, but damage already done, and yeah, it seems like they have put up they have put on the hard work pants here. 3.17 million is very, very strong on a precision map like this, on such a difficult challenger map.
Another statement pick from China. They've had that DT1 and now the Hard Rock 2 go very well in their favor.
Yes, and this is looking really good for the rest of the Hard Rock for China as well. They seem to be very happy about that 970, of course, with this incredible carry performance, but even without 970, they would have still won that. I mean, not without him, but with a significantly lower score here from his side. Leading here by 690,000 points.
And now it's free mod 3 time.
Well, who could have expected that?
Yeah, South Korea probably the scariest team on this specific map for reasons.
Yeah, they might not always score number 1 on this map, but they're always up there, and never a map you want to pick against them. It is 174 BPM, 2 minutes long only, so very practicable with easy here, and it's certain that Gambler is gonna be hopping in.
Oh, 100%.
Usually top scoring here.
Yeah, reminder that the easy multiplier for this map is 2.8 times, and Gambler, being very well versed with the easy modification, will be making full use of that.
Yes, absolutely. NoKJK has FC'd the map yesterday with the no mod as well. So it was kind of an insult to injury moment here.
Yeah, this map being actually surprisingly tricky, even for the Nomad players, as some of these patterns do get pretty dense. Probably thanks to that Circus Eyes still being 3.
So the Gambler score yesterday was about 1,989,000. No, 998.
Interested to see what China's mods are gonna be for this, but South Korea running this exact same lineup that they had in their previous match with the exact same mods. And China have an easy on their side as well. Fujiwara, Nomoko. Gonna try and match Gambler.
Yeah, trying to match Gambler on easy in a tournament like this. Kind of a statement here. Fujiwara Nomoko, of course, extremely strong, has super strong scores on that easy as well. Of course, versus Gambler, the strongest reading player of the entire tournament. It's kind of an uphill battle. No KJK falling though on the side of South Korea, so it's a Nomad score, a Nomad FC gun here, but Gambler still holding strong here.
The rest of China still doing alright on this. Only that early break from JJ on the Nomad. Fujiwara Nomoko on the easy. Nope, KJK not gonna be finding the Nomad FC this time, and Baywall as well as dropped their combo. See? Okay, everyone's dropping their combos crazy, and the only one with a full combo left.
Yeah, crazy on it. Hardwork just doing such a good job here, keeping it alive together with his team. Massive carry performance here, just showing up when you need him most. 250,000 points advantage here yesterday. South Korea managed to get 2.94 million here. Are they going to be able to beat it today? It doesn't seem like it, but it does not matter as long as you beat the other team, which they are doing really well here.
Yeah, you were talking earlier about Crazy stepping up, and yeah, here he is, stepping up on the Hard Rock.
This map is a very low circle size one, so the Hard Rock is not as difficult as one usually would expect from maps like this. And just look at this aim control, 95% on it. Hard Rock is so impressive on this high OD.
Oh.
Fortunately falls, but the damage already done. Only 2 combos here left on the side of China and 600,000 points advantage.
Yeah, very dominating pick for South Korea. They still got it. Nice showing from Crazy on that Hard Rock. Very tricky. Gambler not beating his previous easy score, but that is still 291,000. That's still quite a lot with a 2.8 times multiplier.
Yeah, very strong performance here. Falling far short South Korean team, 300,000 of the score from yesterday. But it does not matter as long as you keep holding up strong, and this is exactly what they have done and what they needed to do.
All right, China. Is it going to be some more Hard Rock, perhaps?
Could very much be. I mean, they have had success on that Hard Rock too. They have had the comparison score from yesterday beating out South Korea in the Hard Rock 1, and it's going to be the Hard Rock 1 just from these stats alone, I believe. And keep abusing that Hard Rock.
Gonna be keeping that DT4 still untouched. Probably the more contested DT pick. But this Hard Rock one, they did have the better team score, right?
But only by about 130,000, so this could still be very close. Any FC here on either side, any break here on either side could change the scoreline. Sure, China might be favored in this, but this, I think, is gonna be a lot closer than the previous Hard Rock map, and I think China knows that as well. This is why they picked the Hard Rock 2 first.
Now, so far, both teams just winning their own picks. No break points being conceded yet.
Just making sure to abuse their own skill sets, their own advantage as much as possible. This one's a bit different. This is very mechanics heavy, a bit of aim, a lot more tapping than you would expect from a one type of map. And these 1/3 at the end of some frame just ruin your accuracy, ruin your combos at times. Just so difficult to keep up, and I think we're gonna see a lot of combo breaks here on a map like this, just from these 1/3 parts.
This one being an interesting Hard Rock one in that it's quite streamy as well as aim. And with that 220 BPM, I mean, probably not going to be the BPM issue for any of these players, but still.
Yeah, I think 220 is very comfortably on this level for most of these players. These players love to play this 220 BPM. We are getting into it. No slip-ups here, everybody hitting the first ult patterns. Never mind, C numbers being the first one to fall, immediately dropping the act massively, giving a bit of an advantage here early on towards South Korean side. $970 fell shortly after. That gives once again more advantage to the South Koreans. China here on a bit of a more shaky beginning. Still a lot of map left. 2 minutes 45. Not a long map by any means, but not a short one either.
You still have your 2 Lolols with the combos. But you're gonna... Oh no, David's combo is there. It's just Kurumi with a full combo. Baywall trading that finally for the side of South Korea, but 3 full combos still. Garalulu, Lugial, Nope KJK, showing how it's done.
Let's look at just these patterns, just so difficult. You have these bursts immediately turning into 1/3, and that's gonna be next. This exact pattern gonna catch off the players on the side of China once and once again. South Korea just looking so good. Only Babel really struggling, it seems like. But just as we say that on this lower part, Lujo kind of falling apart. It's only Nope KJK or that FC left on the South Korean side.
Nope KJK can be a difference maker once again in this match. They really shine on that hidden 3. Is it the Hard Rock 1 this time that they shine on? Only full combo left.
Yes, and this full combo is really saving it for them. 200,000 points advantage. Just dropped a little bit accuracy on OPGK, and the score immediately going a little bit towards China's side. Just look at that, the score is still going towards China's side, just on his recoveries.
Very slowly though. Thanks to that full combo, still keeping South Korea slightly in this. But those recoveries can start doing a lot of work for China.
Now they see the score, and Nope KJK knows he cannot fall here. Putting up pressure here. He holds through for this, but you never know what's going to come. And all the players holding strong here. Combos keep building up, and now the next miss here from the South Korean side.
Usual and Baywall now breaking 970 trading, but 3 recoveries still for China. Score lead is just kind of stuck on that 200k. Oh, Garalulu. It's just no KJK for combo.
Miss from Garalulu certainly shaking things up. It's, as you said, just on Nope KJK, but he's holding up so strong. There's not much combo left as long as he can keep holding.
Ah, Z numbers breaking. That's probably gonna be enough. Yeah, it was enough already.
Nope KJK here with this massive carry performance here, doing such a good job. South Korea just overall is looking so good on this first breakpoint here, so doing so well that one person on their team just paused the game, it seems like. So strong stuff here.
First break point in the match.
If you just compare the scores from yesterday, so China on that Hardwick 1 had at 2.366 million. So they have gotten 66,000 score less than yesterday, but it does not matter because South Korea has beaten the score from yesterday. Which is, as I said, just very telling. Any FC just can change these scorelines so easily on a map that is destined to be that close.
Alright, back to South Korea's pick. Is it just gonna be that Nomad 3 now? That's the one map that they did have a better performance than China. No, Nomad 4. One of those maps that China banned in their previous match.
Yeah, Nomad 4 is something hard to predict, honestly. I've taken a look at the map a few times. I think South Korea is a very strong tech team, but there are times they have not shown off so big strength on it, so it's a bit of a unpredictable in terms of consistency and performance here for them. But I think at the star rating should be good. A very long map, almost could be a tiebreak, honestly.
Yeah. Also, come on, the star rating's only 6 stars. 8-way FC should be easy, right?
Yeah, it's only 6 stars. It can't be that difficult.
All joking aside, this map being kind of a more standard tech map. You have a slow build up early on into a techie section. Then you get another break, or like slightly slower part, and then you get another tech part with some tricky slider streams, which we saw, at least in the Germany-Indonesia match, catching a couple players.
Just really, really difficult to hold up these combos throughout all these 5 minutes. Map being picked very rarely. No team has picked this map previously, these two. So no stats to go on, huh? Makes it more exciting.
This map was left open for South Korea in their match against Romania, but they just didn't pick it, and China decided to ban Nomad for against France. Maybe South Korea have a read here then, just based on the bans.
Possibly. We're gonna see that just any moment. I think this map is very different than usual. The Nomad Force were in this pool, so hard to really guess how this one is going to go. It's very, very difficult sliders on this as well. Gotta be careful of these slider ticks. Gotta use the right skins so they're more visible.
Yeah, in the consistency tech sections, there's a couple of fast sliders with like one slider tick right in the middle of the slider. Gotta make sure to aim that slider tick.
Yes, everybody getting through this intro perfectly fine, and now it starts turning on these faster sliders. The slider takes its tapping power, kind of combining this true tech here together. No early slip-ups, all the teams holding up strong. It just does not stop. It only gets more difficult. First person to break here on the Chinese side is going to be JJ, the person who usually plays the least map, who's usually the stand-in. Another break here from the Chinese players. South Korea not answering any of these breaks here.
Lugiol finally answering with a break. And actually, well, there was a Bancho break for China, but it seems like that might have been real. Another break for JJ. Still 3 full combos for South Korea versus the 2 Lolos.
Lugiol here, very unfortunate miss here again. But as long as it's only Lugiol that keeps missing, it's gonna be good for the South Koreans. Still 3 big combos here on their side. Lolo 3, both Lolos really just holding it strong here for the side of China and trying to
get a
keep
slow
it alive
part very soon here. Assuming they survive a couple, like 100 more combo. They're gonna have a bit of free combo, but still not a lot.
Ooh. That's another break here for the side of China. Only 1 FC left here for them. Oh, 234, who has had such a good performance this round. Another break here from JJ just before the slow power. That's not good for the Chinese. 120,000 points advantage for the South Koreans on 3 FCs into the slow part.
Yeah, and only 1 recovery for China. On top of that 1 full combo from Kurumi still. Really, really good pick for South Korea, it seems. And you can
like this.
One can only wonder how this map is 6 stars.
Nah, star rating is balanced. Imagine like pulling like 4 and 5-star maps just because the AR is lower or something, I don't know.
Clearly a 6-star pool map. Alright, getting slowly here into a build-up.
And the more combo they get out of this, the better it's gonna be for the South Koreans. Just see, look how the score is building. Went from 130,000 to 230,000 just on the slow part here.
JJ dropping on the first stream. We get some more tech. A couple slider streams coming soon. Keep your eyes open if any of the South Korean players break on those. Oh, but there goes Kurumi.
No. Gets traded back by Choco, but it's still 2 FCs. Never mind, 1 FC here for the side of South Korea, but damage already done, 300,000 points. I think it was the last FC for the South Korean side. We still have... Never mind, that miss here from China was a Bancho. It's still holding strong for China. This could be coming back for them. As long as Lolo 234 keeps holding through. Why is it so difficult to say these names? They can still steal away, but the score is barely changing here.
And nope, KJK
Also
matching Kurumi.
That was all the Bancho. Come on, dude. Come on, Bancho.
Yes. Nope, KJK, so long as they just don't break, they're gonna keep this for South Korea. Full combo versus full combo.
Yes, just doing such a good job. Main carry of the South Korean teams once again stepping up the game, just doing such a consistently amazing job, and as long as he can keep hold on just a little bit longer, I think this is going to guarantee it for the South Koreans. Just not enough combo, just not enough score here to be gained for Lolo 234.
Yeah, time has run out. South Korea will be keeping their Nomad 4 pick. Thanks in a big part to Nope KJK, Choco, and Baywall. Going up here, Nope KJK on an FC. Nice try from Kurumi. Just not quite enough help.
Yes, unfortunately, but still. Let's look at these scores. Just across the board, 500k for South Korea, 500k, 800k. But even for the Chinese side, it seems like JJ just couldn't get it done, and I think that might have just been the big problem here for the Chinese side. This fourth player who could be performing for them just missing out here. But it is what it is in South Korea here on match point. Next pick goes to China though, which is, I would be expecting a hard work tree. I mean, what else are they going to be picking? I don't think they're going to be picking any Fremont here. They could be going for something like the number 1, but against a team that is South Korea that is so consistent on the aim, I don't know. Maybe they could go for the number 2. I think it would be a funny pick. Number 2 would be a very funny pick, honestly.
If they're truly a DT team, they live and die by DT and pick DT4 here.
I just don't see China picking a DT4 here. I think it's too dangerous of a pick. I think if you want to have a coin flipping map or a map that you could potentially just be like carrying through, it would be rather than number 2 or the hard work tree. But maybe I am being proven wrong. Maybe they're going to go for some old kind of map, maybe even for the number 3, although it would be very unexpected. China taking their time. And it's going to be the safe pick, it's going to be the hard work tree. They have performed so well in it. Unfortunately, they've lost the breakpoint on that hard work 1, but hard work still it is. And tournament life here for China.
Tournament life on the line. And they pick the alt hard rock map. Leiden.
Yes, Rosie's gonna be happy about that. She loves that. Map is low BPM aim control map. Halfway through, it kind of like turns up turns up more and turns into from a low BPM aim controlish map to a very ulti aim controlish map, which is the same BPM, but just the mapping changes that it immediately turns into an alt map.
Yet another tricky map to hold combo on. Combo is going to be very key here.
Absolutely, we have not seen that score here from both teams. So no predictions here on their potential scores, although I think both of these teams are going to be very strong on this, but I dare to say I would honestly put South Korea on that point here, just from the type of map this is. Very, very difficult gonna be here for the Chinese side, or maybe I'm going to be completely proven wrong, we'll see.
Well, the rosters are in. Good Locks are being called in the chat. China. It's time to start locking in. South Korea on the match point. You still gotta win this one, which is your own pick. And then you gotta steal one back right after.
Yes. And China, unfortunately, has not been able to steal any breakpoints away. And especially if South Korea picks another 3 months after this. Early break here from Crazy. Map is 3 minutes long. Has a lot of combo here as well, despite the lower BPM. Just somehow consistently keeps going. First break here, first more important break here from Dwagon. Usually the fill player, fourth player on a lot of maps. Breaking once again. See numbers also falling to this one jump here. Only 2 FCs for the Chinese side left on their own pick. This is not looking good as a start.
Yeah, early on not looking pretty convincing. 4 full combos for South Korea, still with a lot of players on still pretty good accuracy. It's only really Z numbers struggling with accuracy.
Especially going into a slower part, can be a lot of score stolen. 150,000 score advantage already, 1/3 into map in, and the map only gets more difficult. But the more difficult it gets, the more potential here we see for misses on the side of South Korea as well. So China still completely in it, despite this disadvantage. But with that break here from Lolo, Trooper D4, no answer here from South Korea. This is looking bleak here for China.
Just David, yeah, now it is just David left. Karalulu and Crazy trade the breaks. Choco as well. It's suddenly just no KJK, but David breaks. And with that David's break, I think that's just gonna be China's tournament over. No KJK does find the break, but no recoveries for the side of China to try and make up that score difference.
The map is just so difficult. One of the most difficult maps of the entire pool, if not the most difficult map. And you kind of see that nobody being able to hold any FCs here throughout this. It really came down to this beginning combos here, to these starter combos. Since at this point, China just not being able to hold up these bigger combos. More breaks here from both sides. Still these recovery combos for them, but I don't think there's just not enough time for them to be able to really recover this against a team like South Korea.
It does seem all but over. South Korea will be holding on to their tournament life in the loser bracket, surviving into the final stage.
Yes, so exciting to see this, to see these teams just perform here. China, a force to be reckoned with, just doing such a good job, especially on DT maps, but South Korea just overall being the stronger team. China being forced here towards the end to pick into an alt map, into a hard work map that is an alt map, and South Korea just immediately just sealing this away, just being such a force. Just look at how consistent their scores are all across the boards on the South Korean side.
That's just the better team score wins. South Korea had different players stepping up at different times. But on this Hard Rock 3, they show that the better team performance was what mattered.
Absolutely. Doing God's work here for the players. Rarely did South Korea, did no KJK need to really pick up these scores. Only one map that was really carried by him. All of the other maps were really just a team effort here, and just a very convincing overall performance here from them.
And with that, GG, well played, China. And good luck to South Korea in the final stage. I've been Nev, joined by Floflorian. We will see you another match.
Have a good one.